So today is the appearance day, Sri Gadadhar Pandit. It's also Sri Amavasya, which is not mere coincidence. Is this the Krishna Paksha, in terms of the Shukla means white and Krishna means black or dark. So it's the new moon, but new moon means if we look in the sky, apparently we don't see anything. So that's pertinent with regard to Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is always like in the background, the silent partner of Mahaprabhu. Because in Vrindavan, you have Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna. In Vrindavan, there is Radha and Krishna. And that is their pastimes of Madhurya Leela, their sweet pastimes. Adi Rasa, the original rasa, Mukhya Rasa, the principal rasa, is Madhurya Rasa, the sweet rasa. So Ramananda Samvad, in response to the questioning of Mahaprabhu, Ramananda and the comparative analysis of rasa as jar jay rase hoy se sarvutam. Whichever one is tasting, they think, what could be better than this? It's the best. Or Guru Maharaj mentioned with regard to Srila Saraswati Thakur, when he was honoring different types of prasadam, the devotees say, oh, Prabhupada, which one did you like the best? And he said, each one is better than the other one. So, you're saying, in rasa, whether it's shanta, but more specific, dasya, satya, vatsalya, madhura, servitorship, friendship, familial affection, conjugal love. Whichever one is tasting and relishing, it's the relationship with reality, the beautiful Krishna. I think there is nothing better than this. What could possibly be better than this? But that should not lead us to aberrant, Siddhantic thought. As Guru Maharaj reminded the devotees once, he's saying, the first duty of Radharani every morning when she wakes up, she goes to the doorstep of Mother Yashoda and is giving her dandavats there. So these are divine things. Tatasta vichar, Ramananda says. He says by an impartial analysis. So whatever one, they're all equal, whatever one is tasting, they will think this is the best. They're all the best. Each one's better than the other one. But, he says, tatasta vichar means an impartial analysis. One will conclude that Sringara rasa, which, I mean, in and of itself is known as madhura, the sweet rasa. It's the sweetest. Guru Maharaj will also say, like when we take the prasadam and along the line, the sequence given by Bhakti Vinod Thakur in the Bhogarati, Shukta, Shakadi, Baji, Nalita, Kuzmanda, beginning with Shukta, something bitter, the shak, the Baji, the fried, spinach fried, etc. So he's saying all of these address different aspects of the palate. And if there's some bitter, but palatable bitter, There's bitter that's unpalatable, but then there's also, we learn, there's palatable bitter, and that may enhance the sweetness. They all have their position, and this way they're dependent upon one another. But Madhura rasa is considered the mukhya rasa, the root, the principal rasa, adi, original, from which everything else is springing. So Gauranga said in one context, all the other rasas are clients of Madhura rasa, or they're satellites. So in the Vrindavan Leela, Radha and Krishna, but that is their Madhurja pastime. They're told, Krishna Leelamrita Sar Tar Shata Shata Dar Das Dike Jaha Hoite Say Chaitanya Leela Hoy Manasa Sarovara Akshay Manasa Chahara Tahate. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami at the conclusion of Madhya Leela is drawing a comparison between Krishna Leela and Gaura Leela. It's in Krishna Leelamrita Sar. It's the creme de la creme of nectarine substances, only accessible by the highest section of liberated souls. Kotishvapi Mahamune. Out of 10 million liberated souls, one may be approaching that plane. How, when I talk about rarefied air, the air of Vrindavan, Vaikuntir, Pritivyadi Sakala Chinmoy. Its air is of the highest quality of Chinmoy substance, the ultimate rarefied air, rare achievement. Uddhava, Narada, Brahma, Shiva, they're aspiring for some glimpse, interaction with that plane. It's part of their aspiration, their heart's inner aspiration. So what is Gaura Leela? Kaviraj Goswami is saying, the magnanimous distribution of this ultimate nectarine sweet substance. Madhura, it's distributing that. So we're told, Navadvip is Vrindavan in distribution modes. Right? The entrance to Krishna Leela is through Gaura Leela. And the Rasa Leela in distribution mode is the Sankirtan, Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva. And so that, and Radha and Krishna, when they enter the Odarja Leela, the distribution mode, means they're Acharya Leela, as Guru. They're going to distribute this divine substance to everyone. So Guru Maharaj writes in the auspicious invocational slokas of the beginning of Prapanna Jivanamritam, Guru Rupa Harim Gauram Radha Ruchi Ruchavritam Nityam Nomi Navadipe Nama Kirtana Nartanai. The Guru Rupa of Hari, the Guru form of Krishna, is Gaura, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And why is he Gauranga? How did Shama Sundar, black beauty, mysterious complexion Krishna, become golden, radiant? Radha Ruchi Ruchavritam. Here it's interesting because Ruchi can mean taste but also beauty. So Gauranga is very beautiful poetry. Radha Ruchi Rucha. Ruchi Rucha Avratam. Covered. Radha Bhavadyuti Subolita. Given by Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. But enveloped by the heart of Srimati Radharani. Terra incognito for Krishna. Aparam Kasyapi Prani Janavindasya Kutuki. Rasotstamam Ritva Madhuram Upabhoktam Kamapiya. Astonished observations of Radharani awaken the curiosity in Krishna to what is it like to be her, and not just theoretically, but really, what is it like to be her? What he wants to know, what is it like when Radharani, with her heart, her type of love, Mahabhav Swarupini Radha Thakurani, when she sees Krishna, what does it do to her? What does she feel? When she's separated from Krishna, what is that? That is of particular interest. Mahaprabhu, Krishna descended, enveloped by the heart of Radharani, and her heart is radiant with Krishna Prem. It's like this song, Guru Maharaj would sometimes ask Srila Gurudev to sing Tunga Mani Mandire, what he learned in his childhood from his father, that Guru Maharaj told him to put on the shelf, keep in the background, concentrate on Bhaktivinoda Narottam. But every now and then, Guru Maharaj, knowing his Srila Gurudev's expertise and that he can sing this with heart, he would have them. And Gurudev said if, as a strategy, if he needed to put Guru Maharaj in a good mood, he would sing this song. Where it almost, by default, put Guru Maharaj in a very good mood. And I thought, what is the specialty of that song? I asked Gurudev, actually on his last time in Navadvip, because he once again alluded to this, and said, what does that mean? And he said, it is that like on a high hill, just like in Varshana, on this high hill, there's Radharani, there's a temple, a lighthouse. It's the heart of Radharani. It is a lighthouse of Krishna Prem, illuminating everything. I thought, oh, how wonderful is that? So radiant, and not like when we hear of radiance and spiritual light, we can't think it means this. You know, LED, incandescent, even sunlight. Sunlight is a reflection of that, a dim reflection of spiritual effulgence. So when you're talking, her heart is radiant with love for Krishna. Like we see in this world sometimes when, from a romantic point of view, when someone is, like two people, they're in love, romantic love, during that fortnight in which it lasts. Oh, they don't know, that means 2 weeks. No. No, we know sometimes it lasts longer. But when they're in that period, and people look at them, they see they're radiant. They're very radiant. Sometimes women in their pregnancy, they're extra radiant because of what's the life that's within them. So here we're told, the heart of Srimati Radharani, so full of Krishna Prem, like a lighthouse of Krishna Prem. It's radiating outwards, so much so that when Krishna is enveloped by the heart of Srimati Radharani, the radiance turns Shyama Sundar Krishna into Gaur Sundar Mahaprabhu. So now he is golden, heart and halo. So that's his position. But we're told, what did he do? Ritva Madhuram Upabhoktam Kamavi. He's stolen the heart of Srimati Radharani and halo attached to that. So that means Radharani is absent her heart. What is the remainder? If you take that from Radharani, which she does not give easily, but we're told in Guru Maharaj's song, the Saraswat Arati, that he's saying when she sees Gauranga, how Krishna's been converted into Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and such a lover of Krishna like her, that she's smiling, actually, little, like, smile. And so the remainder is Gadadhar. So in the Acharya Leelas, Gaur and Gadadhar. Krishna, enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani, and Gadadhar, Radharani herself, but absent what we call her Bhamabhav, her this loving opposition that she expresses to enhance the mood and pastimes of Krishna. So she is very docile and Gaur Leela, comparable to Rukmini. If we remember in the Bhagavatam how Krishna teased the Dwarka queen, Rukmini, by telling her that actually, I'm not a fit husband for you, someone else would be better than me, maybe we shouldn't continue this. He wanted to get a reaction from her. And the reaction he got from the queen, Rukmini, as we're told, she fainted and hit the ground like a tree that's uprooted in a hurricane. That was her response. They had to revive at the thought of being separated from Krishna. So in Gaur Leela, sometimes Mahaprabhu is teasing Gadadhar Pandit, trying to get a loving anger reaction from him. And Gadadhar Pandit will never express that. And Guru Maharaj words, Gadadhar, no. When the other devotees, Swarup Damodar, are also trying to get Gadadhar to come out and say, why do you take that from him? You should say something. And Gadadhar, no, toleration will be best for me. I will tolerate. He knows my heart. Of course, he has your heart. He's enveloped by your heart at this point. But Narottam Thakur has, in his song, Gaura Premamoy Tanu Pandit Gadadhar. Gadadhar Pandit is Gaur Prem personified. The personification of Gaur Prem, of love for Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And from an early age, Gadadhar Pandit is very perfect young boy in Navadvip. And if we can just consider this, that Srimati Radharani is appearing as a boy in Navadvip, taking this sort of form. So how sweet and charming is Gadadhar Pandit? Gadadhar Pandit, very good friend, is Mukunda Dutt, the Vaidya, Srinivas Thakur, the others, of course. But Gadadhar is very sweet and shy and a perfect devotee from the beginning of his life, and sees Nimai Pandit when he's in his naughty childhood pastimes and arrogant scholarly pastimes. Sometimes Gadadhar is avoiding him when they walk through the streets of Navadvip. But Nimai Pandit is searching for Gadadhar. And then corners Gadadhar and will say like, oh, how are you? I'm fine. I was thinking about something that you said, and then engage in a debate and defeat Gadadhar, humiliate Gadadhar in a sense, like teasing, then taking the opposite side, then proving that, and just to the point of bewilderment, humiliation. Gadadhar is trying to avoid this boy, Nimai Pandit. But thinking, his heart is predisposed, thinking he's so perfect in every way. So beautiful, charming, inconceivably beautiful and charming. and intelligent and perfect in every way. Only one disqualification: not a devotee of Krishna. Because he's not showing that yet. He is concealing his devotional position and his divinity and everything. This is their play. Guru Maharaj compared it to hide and seek. Like when the children play, they hide and then someone's trying to find someone. He's saying so. And Krishna Leela, they've descended from Krishna Leela into this world. Pundarik Vidyanidhi is in Chattogram, which is, modern day Bangladesh. It's really not on the map in the general spiritual ontological sense. That's why he appears there. Mukunda Dutt happens to be from there. It's all perfectly arranged, but by the sweet influence of Yoga Maya, they're discovering one another. This makes it even more beautiful. It's not as if everyone knows everything about everyone, but they're like gradually observing one another. They're in a sort of divine illusion, forgetting who they are, and because Mahavishnu is Advaita Acharya, Balarama is Nityananda. Says in the song Shange Bhai Avaduta, in the company of the Avadut Nityananda, and Yashoda's appeared as Sachi, and all the Vrishabhanu Maharaj as Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and Radharani really as Gadadhar Pandit. We're told Kanti, the halo, Gadadhar Das, and so many things. Abhiram Thakur, Subal, Sridham, all these principal cowherd boys. So they're discovering one another. And even they're discovering who is Mahaprabhu. When he, once when Gadadhar Pandit asked, thinking like, this will be good, Niyamai Pandit to help him along in the devotional. I have to go somewhere if he can worship my deity. That'll be good. And Niyamai Pandit, he bathes, puts on fresh clothes, tilak, Dwadashapundra tilak. He's approaching the deity, and when he thinks of Krishna, this is after he's showing his devotional mood. He starts crying incessantly. We're told just that normally the Ganga emanates from the Lord's lotus feet, and Gaur Leela, it's coming out of his eyes in the form of tears. And that ruins the clothes, the tilak, so then he has to bathe again, put on tilak, fresh cloth, try and approach the deity. After numerous attempts, he sends word to Gadadhar Pandit, I'm so unfortunate, I can't worship the deity. What sort of misfortune is this? So after returning from Gaya, he starts showing his devotional side, and the devotees, they're thinking, because that's where he connected with Ishwara Puri, the disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and they see this transformation take place, and they're thinking, maybe by the grace of that great devotee, Ishwara Puri, devotion is now appearing in his heart, and they're thinking many different things. When the news comes to Advaita Acharya, who called the Lord heard his plaintive calls, and sometimes he says, I was lying in the milk ocean, variously, wherever, and Advaita Acharya brought him down. But when he hears that this devotional mood is starting to appear, Advaita Acharya tells everyone, his avatar he has descended. This is interesting. He's already been in Navadip Leela. The Advaita was there at the time of his birth and all that. But when he starts showing this devotional mood, he's saying, he has come, he's descended. And the devotees are getting very encouraged. They're saying, now, with Niyamai Pandit, Gaura Hari, leading us, we will conquer the atheists, we will do this. And so they're getting very inspired. And Gadadhar Pandit, the news has reached him that Nimai Pandit's like madly in love with Krishna and searching for Krishna. And he said, I've got to see this myself. And he goes to the house of Shuklambar, and they're having a kirtan there. And that's where the tears are streaming out of his eyes. He's crying, where is Krishna? Gadadhar's hiding in a room. Just wanted to hear what sort of things he will say. He's giving talks on devotion, Sarvabhari Vinirmuktam Tatparateyan Nirmalam, saying, what is pure devotion? Anyavilashita Shunyam. He's quoting so many things, singing so many songs, expressing so many divine sentiments, and crying pathetically, where is Krishna? Where is the Lord of my heart? Gadadhar, he faints and they're like, other devotees, they're all fainting on top of each other, and Nimai Pandit is there. And Nimai Pandit, who fainted in that room? And they say, Gadadhar Pandit. And, oh. And that Gadadhar, at another time, when Mahaprabhu starts showing this intense devotion and feelings of separation from Krishna, he's saying, where is Krishna? And very like in a childlike ecstatic state, asking the devotees pathetically, where is Krishna, the Lord of my heart? And no one can calm him. And Gadadhar Pandit comes forward and said, he's in your heart. That's where he's in your heart. And Nimai Pandit starts scratching at the skin. He wants to rip open his chest and find Krishna in his heart, and Gadadhar Pandit stops him. And Gadadhar Pandit very sweetly and nicely starts explaining that Krishna is coming. Be calm, Krishna is coming. And Mahaprabhu becomes quiet. We're told Mother Sachi, who is afraid to approach him when he is like that, saw, oh, I've never seen such an intelligent boy as Gadadhar Pandit. And that's for certain. Never seen such an intelligent boy. And said, you must stay with him forever. That's what I ask of you. And of course, Gadadhar Pandit does want to stay with Mahaprabhu forever. Even when they go to Puri, after taking sannyas, Mahaprabhu really, he wants to, we know from the moment he took sannyas, he wants to go to Vrindavan. I remember the day I got sannyas from Srila Guru Maharaj, somehow I was short some cloth or something. Oh yeah, because I couldn't wear the cloth from before. So I had, after everything was done, Guru Maharaj, and hearing the mantra, the name, the fire sacrifice, goes on a long time. Krishna Sharan Aranya Maharaj. I always remember the part that says, you can never sleep at noon. You have to say, you will never sleep at noon. And so many things, for some reason that sticks out on me. But then after that, I remember I'd go get some more cloth. And Hari Charan Prabhu, he said, where are you going? He said, I have to go get some, I don't have any more cloth. And he said, for one who's just taken sannyas, they should not go to the market. I was like, you're right. Mahaprabhu, he wants to go to Vrindavan. He's saying what's wrong with you? So, Kahan Krishna Prananath Murli Vadan, Kahan Karan Kahan Bhan Brajendranandan. He's trying to go to Vrindavan, and by the pull of the love and affection of the devotees, he can't escape their orbit. The gravitational pull keeps him in their orbit. He's in Puri, and 1 year, the years keep going by, and he keeps trying to remind the devotees to give permission to go to Vrindavan. And this is heartbreaking for them. But finally, Gadadhar Pandit comes forward when they realize that, and Mahaprabhu is looking towards Gadadhar, like really thinking, because of you, I cannot go. Really, it's you. Your love and affection is what is keeping me here. Gadadhar Pandit says, certainly your will express itself and you must go. So we understand that you will go. But right now it's Chaturmasya, and this is the worst time to travel. So, and this only lasts for 4 months. So you delay by 4 months and stay with us here. And Mahaprabhu cannot resist, but staying, and we're told, remember, Srimati Radharani is the best cook of all time, ever, everywhere. No one can cook like her. She makes the Manohar ladus, many different things. And just for Puranic, Leelic consideration, we're told, oh, and it gives an excuse why Mother Yasoda can enlist her in the service of preparing Krishna's lunch, that she has a boon from Durvasa Muni that whatever she cooks tastes as sweet as nectar. So that Radharani, right, all those things Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes in his songs and elsewhere. Gadadhar Pandit is in, what is it called? Yameshwar, this part of Puri, and has a deity Gopinath, Krishna as Gopinath, Tota Gopinath. And will cook and invite Mahaprabhu to take lunch there. We're told, and sometimes Nityananda Prabhu is bringing the ingredients and giving them to Gadadhar Pandit. And then Gadadhar Pandit invites Nitai and Gauranga for lunch. And Gadadhar Pandit took Ketra Sannyas, which means he will never leave Puri. So when it was time for Mahaprabhu to finally go to Vrindavan, Gadadhar Pandit's going with Mahaprabhu. And they're outside of Puri. And Mahaprabhu's saying, you can't do this, and you can't do this to me. You have to go back. You have the vow, Ketra Sannyas, you have to stay. And Gadadhar Pandit says, let my Ketra Sannyas go to hell. Actually, wherever you are, all the holy places are there. What is this, Ketra Sannyas? What is this? And Mahaprabhu has to insist that Gadadhar Pandit not accompany him to Vrindavan. And Guru Maharaj has made the point, Radharani is, the queen of Vrindavan in this sense. How can she return to Vrindavan, as we told in the beginning, absent her heart? Inconceivably painful situation. Mahaprabhu insists, Gadadhar Pandit faints, and who is it? Perhaps Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tells Gadadhar Pandit to get up, and they go back, and Gadadhar Pandit thinks, then I'll go visit Sachi Mata. But when we hear, as Guru Maharaj said, the remainder, when Krishna plunders the heart and halo of Radharani, the remainder is Gadadhar Pandit. Sometimes he says a facsimile, a carcass, an empty shell, like a Niskenshan, a beggar, saying like when a man has a bag full of money, right, of inconceivable wealth, and then someone plunders that. Now he just has an empty bag. And he's always running after the person who's got the money, trying to reclaim the wealth. He said it's something like that. Because there's an ontological dilemma that we face when we see Kaviraj Goswami compare Gadadhar Pandit to Rukmini. Because generally speaking, we understand from Rupa Goswami, Radharani expands out of Vrindavan into Dwaraka as Satyabhama, with the bomb above, right? This loving disagreeableness, contrariness, opposition. And heart in Vrindavan is supreme, above intellect. The positions are reversed in Dwaraka. Intellect means the Queen Rukmini, and heart in the secondary position, Satyabhama. So why should Kaviraj Goswami compare Gadadhar to Rukmini? Because of that submissive nature that we alluded to before. Then it's possible. And Guru Maharaj has given this original explanation. It's another original concept and explanation that comes from Srila Guru Maharaj. So, and while in Puri, again, all these things are inconceivable. The worship of Gaur and Gadadhar, Guru Maharaj said, like a double dose of Madhura Rasa. When we were in Lakta with Srila Gurudev, I just remember he said these words there. He said, referring to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's worship, his worshipable deities are Gaur and Gadadhar. Like we see often Gaur Nitai, and his were Gaur Gadadhar. But lest neophytes imitate that or try to enter there, Gurudev called this. He said it is the worship of Gaur Gadadhar is the private chamber, bhajan chamber of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Private, very intimate, high. So, and that Gadadhar Pandit in Vrindavan would give readings from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Think about that. Radharani reading the Bhagavatam and explaining it. What could compare with that? Radharani explaining the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yadamya mahima Sri Bhagavatam katayam pratipatam anubhutam apyaladdavideya tadakila rasamurti shyamalila madhura rasadi Sri Radha Pada Padmam Prapadye. Guru Maharaj in his sloka, one collection for his Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the inspiration and order of Swarup Damodar, composed Bhagavat Arka Marichi Mala. Bhagavatam is generally taken to be 18,000 slokas. In the Bhagavatam itself, it says, Krishna sva dhamo bhagate dharma jnani dibiksaha kalo nashta trishamesha puranarko dunoditaha. As the world is plunged into the darkness of Kali Yuga, and when Krishna withdraws from the world, goes to the next universe, other pastime, world's plunged in the darkness of Kali Yuga, the Srimad Bhagavatam rises like the sun, illuminating all directions. So we can take like 18,000 slokas, 18,000 rays. Bhaktivinoda Thakur decided on the inspiration and order of Swarup Damodar, takes 1,000 rays from the Bhagavat sun and gives special structure, explanation. Particularly, he points out that Swarup Damodar expounded on the first three slokas of the Bhagavatam being Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan, Tattva. So Guru Maharaj got the inspiration to collect like 300 slokas. And because he didn't finish this work, but he did write introductory slokas, and one in praise of Vyasadeva, the one Radharani like that, but Gadadhar Pandit, because when he's giving these explanations, sometimes also Gadadhar Pandit and Mahaprabhu, just the two of them, are on the shore of the ocean in Puri. And Gadadhar Pandit is selecting, supplying select slokas to Mahaprabhu to relieve the separation he's feeling in his heart. When Srila Swami Maharaj, after successfully inaugurating the worldwide Krishna consciousness movement and returning to India, with this great success, he was met at the Navadvip train station by Srila Sridhar Maharaj's group, Srila Keshava Maharaj's group. Together they received him there. They stopped at Srila Keshava Maharaj's mat on their way to Chaitanya Saraswat mat. And there, Achyutananda Maharaj, he was privileged to observe the interaction of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Well, it was taking place in Bengali, and he asked Prabhupada at one point, he said, what were you and Srila Sridhar Maharaj discussing? And Prabhupada said, if I told you, you would faint. And he said he has very deep realizations of Krishna, and he said many other things. But he said, I want to draw attention to this point. He said, if I told you, you would faint. And Guru Maharaj explained that later by saying, means you won't be able to maintain consciousness in that plane. So, one time, when in the afternoon, when Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev would sometimes come, they'd read him the mail, or there are not many people around, just some informal atmosphere in the afternoon. So one day, sitting next to Srila Guru Maharaj, he's sitting in his chair toward the deity, and Srila Govinda Maharaj was there, and I said, I'm wondering, these things where Swami Maharaj said, you will faint to hear them, what is like a sample of that, or what would be something like that? And then he was smiling, and Guru Maharaj was saying, what? And Srila Govinda Maharaj said to Guru Maharaj, he said, Goswami Maharaj wants you to make him faint. And Guru Maharaj was going, what? He said, Goswami Maharaj wants you to make him faint. And then he explained to him what I was saying, and they went, oh, that was in reference to these statements. And then I saw Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, they're like discussing between themselves different things that Guru Maharaj might say, that he could say in response to this peculiar request. And that's when Guru Maharaj quoted the sloka that he wrote for the introduction, or his collection of slokas, and it's indicative of the criteria for selection. Nilambodhi, it's Gadadhar Pranam. Nilambodhi tate sada saviraha kepamritam bandhavam Srimad Bhagavati Katha Madiraya Sanjivayan Bhatya Srimad Bhagavatam Sada Swanayana Shubhayanaya Pujayan Goshami Prabharo Gadadhara Vibhur Bhuyat Mareka Gati. Hare Krishna. And he's saying, on the shore of the broad blue ocean, like we hear Puri described, Nila means blue. Nila Chala Chandra, and it's like sapphire-like blue. This is on the shore of that broad blue ocean. Tata, Yambodhi tatai Yambodhi tatai Soda Swaviraha. Swaviraha. It's talking about Mahaprabhu saying he is experiencing separation from himself. That indicates Radha Bhava Duty Subalita, that he's enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani. That's how he's experiencing the deepest sort of separation from Krishna. This is really the internal reason why he descended. He is not interested in the pastimes of union from the Krishna perspective. He's Krishna, he already knows everything about that. Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambrahma Sevyamaram. To an infinite degree, he knows that. Right? But here, Swaviraha, feeling separation from himself, and Kepanbitam Bandhavam, means in the company of his best friend. And who is that? Gaura Prema Moy Tanu Pandit Gadadhar. And Gadadhar Pandit, like a friend, when a friend is feeling, how do you say, heartache and heartbreak and the pain, the most intense pain of separation from their beloved, a sympathetic friend comes to them and supplies some intoxicant to relieve their pain. So what is the intoxicant? Srimad Bhagavati Katha Madhira. Bhagavat Katha, these slokas of the Bhagavatam, they're like intoxicants. Srimad Bhagavati Katha Madhiraya Sanjeevayan Bhatya. The 10th stage of separation is death. Why this doesn't happen is the devotees, although they're feeling they can't go on another moment and separation from Krishna, that they will die, they know that if they were to die, that would bring some unhappiness to Krishna. So they're in this death-like state of intense heartache and separation from Krishna. So Sanjeevayan means life restoring. So these slokas, Gadadhar Pandit is supplying like intoxicant. The intoxicating beauty and charm of these slokas is bringing him back from this death-like state of separation. And while Gadadhar Pandit is doing this, Radharani selecting slokas from the Bhagavatam as only she can. Srimad Bhagavatam Sada Swanayana Shrupayanai Pujayam. And as we're told generally, and approaching the Bhagavatam, first, before we give a recitation, we should take some flowers and offer the flowers to the Bhagavatam and make some prayer, offering ourselves as an instrument in service to what the Bhagavatam wants to express. Here, when Gadadhar Pandit is selecting these verses and expressing them in a heartfelt way to Mahaprabhu, we're told, tears are pouring from the eyes of Gadadhar Pandit, like lotus tears pouring down the face of Gadadhar Pandit. They're falling onto the pages of the Bhagavatam, just the way you offer flowers to the Bhagavatam. But because they're tears, they're washing away the letters of the slokas. But as if the tears of Gadadhar Pandit are the offerings to the pages of the Bhagavatam. So Srila Gauranga said, Goswami Prabharo Gadadhara Vibhur Bhuyat Mare Gagati. Let what I am offering here, let it be an offering to this best of the Goswamis, Gadadhar Pandit. This is my aim. That Gadadhar Pandit, who has this capacity, let this be an offering. So this gives us a hint, an indication of the selection criteria of the slokas from the Srimad Bhagavatam. That Gadadhar Pandit was told by Mahaprabhu to teach Bhagavatam to Srinivasacharya. Someone will come who will be known as Srinivasacharya. You should after me, you should teach your Bhagavatam to Srinivasacharya. When Srinivasacharya came to Puri and met Gadadhar Pandit, is so restless with anticipation to become the student of Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit explains these, my recitation from Mahaprabhu, my tears have washed away the slokas, particularly that I want to teach you. So you need to commission a new Bhagavatam. And in those days, you'd have to travel back, where was it, Saptagram or somewhere, and the Navadvip area, and it takes some time for someone to write. Even if the Guru Maharaj said, really, there's 14,000 extent of the 18,000 slokas, still 14,000 slokas, it takes some time to do that. And then when Srinivasacharya returns with this so much anticipation to learn, become the disciples of Gadadhar Pandit, Advaita Acharya's son Achyutananda was a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit, and others. Gadadhar Pandit had left the world, and this was a crushing blow to Srinivasacharya. Just fainted, and what to do, go to Vrindavan in search of Rupa Goswami. And when he arrives in Vrindavan, they're having a big kirtan. He's thinking maybe in traveling, I didn't notice a festival in the Panjikan. They say, oh, haven't you heard? Rupa Goswami's left the world. And this is too much for him. He faints, wakes up in the ashram of Jiva Goswami. And it was Jiva Goswami who taught him the Srimad Bhagavatam. But that Gadadhar Pandit, Balabhacharya, the great Bhagavatam scholar and interpreter, but who was getting no recognition from Mahaprabhu due to his arrogance at the time and disregard for Sridhar Swami, the principal commentator of the Bhagavatam, said it was like a duck. His present and all the devotees of Mahaprabhu are ignoring him, and said he felt like a duck in the presence of many swans. There are all these like swan-like devotees going around. He's like in a quack, quack, you know, like when he would see the geese at the Mat in Navadvip, he called them Bengali Rajahangsas. It's just a joke, because they're not swans. And he once said about someone, he said, this, because they come, a Paramahansa is like highest type of devotee, but they were, although getting this type of reputation, then showing some other behavior. And Gurudev said, this will not be the first time that a Paramahansa swan turned out to be a goose. They make a horrible sound that only Madhusudan Maharaj can appreciate. In his generous mood. But anyway, so that Balabhacharya, he's trying to gain some prestige, and he's thinking like, Mahaprabhu won't hear my explanations of Krishna Nam and the Bhagavatam, and no one else will. And you know, Gadadhar Pandit's very docile and, you know, sweet and so on. He's saying, you please, you hear me. If you will hear my explanation. And Gadadhar Pandit is saying, oh no, this is not good. Mahaprabhu will be angry. And is trying to do anything and everything to avoid, but Vallabhacharya is like very forceful and going to force Gadadhar Pandit to hear these things. And Gadadhar Pandit starts saying, Krishna, save me. And then Gadadhar Pandit thinks, Mahaprabhu's in my heart, and he knows, I do not want to hear this. I don't want to be, and this is being forced on me. He has to know that. He's in my heart and can understand. And that's true. But Gadadhar Pandit said, he'll understand. He said, but some of his followers won't understand. But Gadadhar Pandit did stay in Puri on Mahaprabhu's order and worshipping the Tota Gopinath deity as Gadadhar Pandit, which is actually a tall deity. And as Gadadhar Pandit got older, it was difficult, like to put the crown on the deity and then put the flute. And so as Gadadhar Pandit was struggling, he went into the deity room one day and the deity was sitting in a sitting posture. Then he could like easily put the crown on and put the flute and everything. And there are various descriptions of Mahaprabhu's withdrawing from this plane. And Guru Maharaj once said, they all can be true. The Lord can be showing different ways to different people, spiritual and mundane. But one of the things we're told, as we're saying, they saw him go into the temple one day and run into the deity of Jagannath and never come out. Some saw him walk over the sea. He went into the sky. But we're also told he entered the deity of Tota Gopinath. And for those of you who are in Puri, if you got up very early, the pujaris, they'll move the deity's cloth and show there's a golden mark on the thigh of the deity. And Guru Maharaj said, all of this is possible. But because Mahaprabhu did promise to Gadadhar Pandit, if you're true to this vow, I will always be with you. So we can understand by the devotion, the heart of Gadadhar Pandit has that power to draw Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. What was the question?
So the question is... Question from Pavan Krishnan Prabhu. Gadadhar Pandit got initiation from Pundarik Vidyanidhi. What is the inner meaning of this Leela?
As happy as Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip, as we told recently, he is also waiting for Nityananda Prabhu. He's happy with the devotees there, but of course he wants to be with his beloved Nityananda and others. And sometimes the devotees would hear him crying, Bap Pundarik, Bap Pundarik. And Bap means father. So at first they thought Pundarik, well that is a name, Pundarikaksha. It's lotus eyes. It's a name of Krishna, the Lord. So they, is he crying out to the Lord? But he's saying, Bap, Father. Like Father Krishna or what? They're wondering, who is this Pundarik? But with the Bap, they begin to understand, hearing from Mahaprabhu, that he is a great devotee. And so seeing how heartfelt his longing for the association of Pundarik Vidyanidhi was, created great eagerness in the devotees to meet him. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi being in Chattogram, that is in modern-day Bangladesh, and the Ganga doesn't flow there, so he was wealthy, and he maintained a residence in Navadvip. And he would go to Navadvip and worship the Ganga there. And we're told he would never enter the Ganga, touch the Ganga with his feet. He would sprinkle some, kneel down in the evening. He didn't like to see people using the Ganga for cleaning and all of those things. He would go in the evening when no one is around, sprinkle some water himself, sometimes drink a little Ganga Jal. And very moving way. He showed so much devotion to Ganga. And knowing Mukunda Dutt, the Vaidya, Dr. Mukunda, is from his hometown, and he knew of his greatness. One or two devotees like that really knew about him. And hearing that he's coming to Navadvip, he told Gadadhar Pandit, do you want to meet like real high, substantial Vaishnava? And Gadadhar Pandit saying, of course. And so he took him to meet Pundarik Vidyanidhi, but when he got there, he saw he's showing himself as like a gross materialist, Vishai. He's wearing all these beautiful silk clothes, his hair is oiled, he's chewing pan, his lips are red, he has spittoons around him, he's on a palanquin with silk cushions, and he's smoking a hookah, and he seems to be the antithesis of a Vaishnava. And Mukunda Dutt is saying, there's your Vaishnava. And Gadadhar Pandit is like, oh my. And Mukunda Dutt saying, oh, I understand. Gadadhar's experienced some apprehension seeing all this apparent sensualist display. So Mukunda, who Mahaprabhu told, in your voice is infused with Krishna Prem, and by your singing, Krishna Prem is distributed. Always Mukunda is singing in the pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu in a lead singer position. So Mukunda thinking, Pundarik Vidyanidhi is concealing himself as if he's a gross materialist, an sense enjoyer. Sitting there with the oiled hair, chewing pan, spitting at the spittoons, smoking the hookah. Where's this boy from? And he said, oh, he's Gadadhar Misra. He's a real nice young devotee boy, devoted his whole life. But Gadadhar's frozen with apprehension. And so Mukunda thinks, I need to do something to bring Pundarik Vidyanidhi out. So he starts singing one sloka from the Bhagavatam. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigam sayapayaya dapya sadvi lebhe gatim datruchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajima. So when Uddhava to Vidura, Uddhava, who is all this devoted to Krishna from his childhood, he's thinking about the pastimes of Krishna in separation. And he said, who is a more worthy Lord than Krishna? Who is more merciful than Krishna? Saying, Putana Rakshasi, the witch, Putana, in the guise of a sweet wet nurse, approached with the permission of Yashoda and Rohini, entered the nursery of Krishna, and she had poison on her nipple, and she's breastfeeding Krishna with the intention of murdering him, right? I mean, this is horrible, if you think about it. Right? And she looks so nice on top of it all, that you sort of say, oh yeah. And then Krishna, he sucks the poison off of her nipple, sucks the milk out of her breast, and sucks the life, pran, out of her body. And she's like trying to push him off, and he's like, with his hand, little baby hands that are very strong, because he's omnipotent. She can't push him off of the, and she's resuming her normal form, which is like this horrible looking witch creature. So, but what does Krishna do? And this, he elevates her to mother position in the spiritual world. So, Uddhava was saying, who's more merciful? He's approached with murderous intentions, and he liberates someone, and they end up being in a mother position. So what to speak if you approach him, just neutrally or favorably, or servant, friend, familial, we can understand each one incrementally. What's the earthquake thing? Each level, there's a word for it. Yes, but there's no, the level that they increase. They just don't go like up a notch, like 4 is much more than 3 and 5, etc. I forget the word right now.
Amplitude?
Nope. Close. I'll think of it later, but you understand. In other words, like 4 is not just a little bit more than 3, it's magnitude, but I can't.
Scale of Richter.
Yes, but it has to do with magnitude. Anyway, you get the idea.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying. If you approach him with murderous intentions, you get this kind of result. What to speak of favorably or with fraternal love, familial love, conjugal love. So when Pundarik Vidyanidhi hears this, he starts undergoing ecstatic transformation and going, Kamba Dayalum Sharanam Brajema. Who is the more merciful Lord than Krishna? And his heart is beginning to express itself in ecstatic transformation, and he throws the hookah on the ground and turns over, throwing the pillows, pulling his hair, ripping his clothes, and keeps going, Kamba Dayalum Sharanam Brajema. And his tears are pouring from his eyes, and he enters a deep state of ecstasy, appearing as though he's left the world for 6 hours. So, and suddenly Gadadhar Pandit is saying, oh, what have I done? The highest type of devotee, I was thinking offensively about them. But he's saying, then how to overcome this sort of Vaishnava aparad? So if you become someone's disciple, they forgive all your offenses. So when Pundarik Vidyanidhi comes out of his 6-hour trance, Mukunda says, Gadadhar would like to take initiation from you. No. And he gets permission from Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu is very eager to meet Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi comes to Mahaprabhu and enters another. They embrace each other so intensely that it appears as though Mahaprabhu has merged into the body of Pundarik Vidyanidhi, that they've become one. And Mahaprabhu says to him, today I've seen the ocean of Krishna Prem personified. So although his name is Vidyanidhi, means like an ocean of vidya or knowledge, but he says, Mahaprabhu calls him Premanidhi, the ocean of Krishna Prem. So Mahaprabhu says, now my life is perfect, I'm seeing him. So why is Mahaprabhu calling him father? It's because he's in the mood, heart and halo of Radharani, Vrishabhanu Maharaj in Vrindavan is her father. Vrishabhanu Maharaj appears in Gaur Leela as Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And when Gadadhar Pandit asked Mahaprabhu for permission to take initiation from him, he said, of course, he's your father. Hare Krishna.